We are following some breaking news this morning. Riviera Beach police say one person is dead after being shot in the head in Palm Beach Shores along Singer Island. It all took place along Bravado Lane. Two suspects in West Palm Beach near 31st Avenue and Windsor. Now, again, this all started as a traffic stop in Boca that eventually evolved into this high-speed chase along I-95 northbound. Joining us by phone right now is Congressman Representative Tom Rooney, who was actually at the baseball field when this all unfolded. Representative Rooney, please fill us in. What did you see? What did you hear? And how are you doing? What are your plans now? Where do you go from here? Are you heading back to the Capitol? Are you meeting up with other representatives? What's happening now? The Pentagon says it expects it will be weeks until the first National Guard troops begin deploying to the border. Aaron?
And what if I'm sitting with someone at my house and I see some of what I think could be a symptom of a stroke? What should the person in that situation do to help the victim?
And we are back on Earth.
Steph, how was it?
Oh my gosh. This is TJ, everyone. He's with SEAL Team 7. He was my tandem jumper. I gotta tell you, I could not have picked a better group to jump with. This was so amazing. This was like the coolest experience of my life.
Yep, so we dropped in from about 12,000 feet. Free fall, we were going about 120, and now we're back here on Earth.
And I gotta tell you, I was waiting for that stomach drop. I didn't get it at all. But like you said, it was just like being free and just, it was so peaceful.
Oh, yeah.
It was so peaceful. I loved it. I would do this again in a heartbeat.
Well, you're a natural, so your body position was good. Coming down out of free fall, nice and stable. It's good to go.
That's right, Navy. Go Navy.
All right, go Navy. Go Navy, beat Army.
That's right. I'll see you guys again in half an hour, and I'll fill you in on my experience with the Navy leapfrogs.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Brave soul.
Up in your face, your lips are flapping, your cheeks are flapping, and then you get the sense of complete peace, believe it or not, and you're just floating through air. Sorry about that. That was an F-18 that just came out of nowhere and surprised us. But that's the kind of fun you'll have out here at the Stewart Air Show. So if you get a chance this weekend, come on out.
You know what the best part of the fair is, of course, the rides. So we had to come try one out. You know, if you missed this past Tuesday, make sure you come to the fair next Tuesday. It's another Fat Tuesday. You can ride most rides for $2 a piece. So it's a really great deal. And since news people are pretty competitive, I figured I have to race Mark down the slide.
Who's competitive? I don't know what you're talking about. This is actually the only slide I could actually take, so that's why we're doing it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. See, I weigh more, so I'm gonna win. Our first and last slide of the South Florida Fair.
Bigger question, Felicia, Tiff, who won? I can tell you it's a whole lot easier to get around Sunfest when you have your own driver, right, Dale?
Of course it is.
Dale is one of the vendors here. I hopped on his golf cart. He took me for a little spin. So come say hi to Dale if you get a chance to come down to Sunfest. But if you have to drive down here, right now is a great time to get out on the roadways. I can tell you I-95 is looking good. Obviously, as we head to towards the 6 o'clock hour, we're starting to see volume increase out there towards the peak of rush hour. So just make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Okeechobee Boulevard, a little congested, but no more than usual. So you should be good there as well. If you are heading downtown, you have to know where to park. So I've made some maps for you. Let's show you those maps now. The first one is prepaid parking. It's $12 a day. You can choose the Government Center Garage, the 4th Street lot, and Judicial Center Garage. Now you have to purchase the prepaid parking by 10 p.m. today for tomorrow. So make sure you get it done the day before you plan to head down to Sunfest. And as for daily parking, that'll run you $10 to $20 depending on which garage you choose. You can park at these 5 garages off Clematis, Banyan, and Ivernia Street. Some of them are parking lots, and obviously the closer you get towards the waterfront and Sunfest, the more expensive it'll be, and $20 is the peak out here. So of course I'll keep an eye on traffic for you for the next hour, and I'll keep you posted and updated. But for now, Dale, let's hit the road. We got some partying to do.
Hey, let's party.
Bye guys, Todd and Tiff, back to you.
Good morning, Mark and Farron. You know, it's really hard to put into words the feeling out here at the Pine Trails Park and Amphitheater this morning. I'm going to step out of the way because I want you to look behind me. There is a cross in the field out front of the amphitheater for each of the victims killed in this horrific massacre.
they're still lit with candles that have been out here burning all night. And this morning, as the fog was rolling in, it was really a sight to behold. Again, really hard to put into words. I want to show you some video now of the scene from last night as thousands of people packed into the amphitheater to remember the victims of Wednesday's school shooting. Aerial video gives you an idea of just how large that crowd was. Many people brought flowers and balloons. Nearly everyone had a candle. Politicians, school officials, and members of the religious community all spoke. The class president read all the names of the 17 victims. The father of one of those victims told the crowd he and his wife are broken without their daughter, Jamie. So hard to listen to that father's grief. Now, towards the end of the vigil, the crowd held their candles to the sky to show the world there is still light in Parkland. You know, out here again this morning live, you'll see in a few minutes coming up when we do another shot out here that there's candles burning everywhere. There's empty boxes of tissues, and there's pictures and messages to many of the victims. It's just a very, very difficult sight to take in this morning. Mark Farron.
And to hear that father's words, it takes your breath away. Now, Steph, that was the first of many vigils last night. We know there are more today as well.
That's right, Mark. There are a number of vigils coming up tonight as well as into the weekend. I want you to take a look at the screen right now. We have a list of some of those vigils taking place tonight. There are many in Broward. We've picked out two specifically that you see on your screen now. There's also a vigil that will be taking place in Palm Beach County this evening at FAU in Boca Raton. That vigil gets underway at 6 p.m. But there will be vigils to come in the days ahead and a lot more grieving left to do here, Mark. Also at last night's vigil, about a dozen members of the Miami Dolphins, including Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills, TJ McDonald, and Tony Lippett. And they remained pretty much anonymous in last night's crowd. They weren't there for recognition or anything like that. They just took part. They were hugging some of the victims' family members, speaking to them quietly, and they were just like all the rest of us, trying to comprehend and remember the lives lost here in Parkland. Mark Farron.
Survivors and family members of victims started to arrive outside of Pulse nightclub overnight in the dark, early morning hours to mark the moments their loved ones last spent on this earth. They came by the dozens, reverently in the middle of the night, carrying heavy hearts and many emotions.
I've been coming to the Pulse Club before this tragedy happened. I just feel very hurt about this. I pray for all 49 of the victims.
In a private ceremony inside Pulse, family members and survivors honored lost loved ones at a wall of flowers. They also took pause at the exact moment unspeakable violence erupted, 2:02 a.m., when Omar Mateen started taking innocent lives.
And I just find that incomprehensible. It goes to what went through my head, you ask me? Anger, a lot of anger. If I was here, I would have not mind to lose my life and throw myself as a weapon to that guy and just destroy him. That's what goes through my mind.
For the Orlando community, Pulse nightclub is now hallowed ground, a place where 49 innocent souls departed this world for another. It has become a pilgrimage site where some strikingly find solace.
Probably for a lot of people, it's a bad place to come when you feel bad or stressed. But for me, I can come to this place and, I can talk.
There will be an evening gathering in the heart of downtown Orlando, as well as a late night music-filled event here at Pulse nightclub. Reporting in Orlando, Stephanie Brzezinski, WPBF 25 News.